Joseph W. Brady reflects on 2023, projects what's ahead in 2024.
Well, Terry, I think that everybody would agree that 2023 has been a rather interesting year. No matter what political side you're on or where you live, or I mean, for the first time ever in California, weather forecast shows a potential tornado in Ventura County the other day. I mean, we've never had tornadoes out here, so I think with interest rates have been high. I think there's a big divide in our country. I think that I saw a headline the other morning in the Daily Press that was rather interesting, where people are really wondering where our democracy's going. The real estate market has been tough. I mean, interest rates have had a huge impact on cap rates and valuations of buildings on up here. The industrial developers right now are processing about 85 million square feet industrial space. So that's about 15 million down in Hesperia, over 20 million, surprisingly, in the city of Atlanta. Prologis and Southern California Logistics Airport, they just keep clicking at a couple million square feet. They just signed a 1.3 million square foot deal. I had lunch with one of the with Tyson Chase the other day. He gave me the name, but I won't want to release it. Apple Valley's got 30 million feet. Barca's got about 5 million feet, and then you've got the project with BNSF. So I think the industrial market's looking real healthy in the future. Ken Shear and his partners, Milikovich with Covington, they're now out of that 232 acres down there in Caliente. So those buildings have now been fully leased. So that they've got their project up on Caliente off of 395 in Main Street. They've got a 2 million square footer laid out. I don't think they're going to do spec. So I think there's a little bit of caution on the industrial side. On the residential side, we're still having conversations with some very serious, well-known builders. We've got a great property that we've been blessed to represent, Strata Investments out of San Diego, on a 664 acre specific plan property out in Apple Valley. It's the only piece of land that I can remember in Southern California. It has the topography with it that it does, the views that it has, and I think that now the town may be looking at how we can maybe increase some of the density, move some of the density around that we have there. So the residential market's not dead. Silverwood's moving full speed ahead. They've got 5 builders picked. One of them, I will say, there's a builder now that has really, I think, validated the housing market on up here, and that's Lennar. So Lennar, depending upon what list you look at, is typically either number 2 or 3 in the country, and they're an upscale builder. They do a great job, and they just bought, I believe, 191 lots from Jim Previty and Frontier down off of Ranchero. And I believe I've also heard rumors that they're probably going to be one of the builders down at Silverwood. So that really validates the market on up here. I mean, I remember when I first took a look out here in 1986, Inco Homes was the primary builder. I think there were like 3 builders out here, and that was it. I mean, Ira came out here in the late 70s and pioneered the $49,000 home behind where now the mall is. But so I think that that's good. Retail, I've had a couple retail tours in the last 60 days that I did not expect. I had 2 gentlemen that are incredibly well known. One had worked for Rick Caruso for 20 years, and one of them had been a major developer and worked in the major development. I mean, malls for like General Growth and things like that. They were out for a tour. I have a tour on Saturday the 23rd, which is 2 days before Christmas. I wasn't expecting to do it. And this company is looking at doing something out here that nobody's ever done, and it's not an industrial, it's not an office deal. I think it's more of a kind of an entertainment deal. So, as we look in the rearview mirror, 2023 was tough. I mean, if you look at the headlines, in all the real estate publications, Colliers, JLL, Newmark, CBRE, earnings are off 50%, 75%. The Marks and Millichap, lost $8 million in one quarter. We were actually under contract with Marks and Millichap until March 13th, and when Silicon Valley Bank, blew up, they blew out, and so we didn't do that deal. We may do that deal again in the future. So I think 2023 is wholly behind us. 2024, I think, is going to be a great year. But I do say this. I think that politics are going to play heavy into 2024. If the deals make financial sense, people are still going to go ahead. But if they're kind of sitting on the sidelines, they're going to say, well, let's see who our president is, because I think our country wants more stability. We're obviously really divided. Interest rates, I think, are going to flatten out. I think the Fed's going to do what they can to slightly reduce them. I don't see them coming down a point and a half next year. I think it's election year. I think multifamily across the country has done really well. I think that's going to slow down a little bit. The state still needs 3.5 million housing units in the state, but you can't afford to process them. Industrial will slow down, I think, in the Inland Empire, but there's still a good market down there. So there's still people moving around. I mean, we're still getting plenty of calls. So I'm optimistic about what I see. You got 5 cities out here. They're all fairly pro-growth. I think they've got really good leadership. I think they got good stability. I want to give a shout out to Liz Becerra, who's now the new mayor of Victorville. Congratulations, Liz. And I want to thank Deborah Jones. Deborah, I think you did a great job. You are a woman of a lot of class, and I think everybody likes you. I mean, I've never met anybody who didn't like Deborah. She just does, and she's very religious. She cares deeply about people. She's very Christian. Has great kids, has a great husband, Gene. So thanks for the job you're doing. So I think we have some great times. I will say this: I think that now that Bright Line has gotten their, I call it the down payment. So they got a $3 billion grant from the Biden administration, and that's a big kickoff. I think the number now that they're using, that they're publishing, that's a $12 billion project. I think that that's more real. So we happen to know one of the contractors that will be doing one of the jobs. And what they said to me recently, they probably won't be pushing dirt for 6 to 9 months. There's still a lot of things that have to be done. I mean, there's utilities that have to be relocated along, I-15, the construction route. I had one person tell me, I don't know if this is right or wrong, that the 2 areas out near Baker that will be built, they're kind of bridges for wild animals to be able to cross I-15 and not get run over by a train. Those have to be built first. I don't know if that's really correct. But I do think that what Biden did is validate the speed train. And I have said all along, it's a game changer. So I want to take my hat off to Art Bishop. Art has been the chairman of the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. I think he's really taken upon himself to follow Bright Line. He's probably been the biggest advocate for it. He's obviously the biggest cheerleader out here, and I'm excited for it. I think that for younger generations that want to raise a family on up here, it's exciting. I think if I want to live in Silverwood, all I'd have to do is drive down Ranchero Road and go on up and park my car where 395 and I-15 is and get down below. I think it's a game changer. So happy New Year to everybody getting this. I'll be doing a special message to our clients and maybe giving them more of a little inside information what I think. But I think that BNSS moving forward, the Bright Line's moving forward, Prologis moving forward, Silverwood, I think we've got some great times ahead of us. So thanks.
Thank you for being with us on this Joseph W. Brady Online Report. We hope you'll join us again on our next report.